Dr. Crank here at Waco Animal Hospital, and today we are going to be talking about some fun activities that you and your senior dog can enjoy.
All right, how much activity does my senior dog need each day?
So senior dogs are certainly a lot different from your puppies and even your adult dogs. They have started to slow down and just take more time to relax. And so they're certainly not going to need as much energy to expel, but it's certainly something that you want to be able to provide enough activity that they can still get up, get moving, and overall still be a little bit energized.
So why is it important to keep my senior dog active?
A couple of different reasons. So one, we want to keep them moving. We want to have those joints moving. They start to develop some arthritis, and if they aren't really moving those joints as well, they can have some atrophy happen of their muscles, which basically means that they are wasting away. If you don't use it, you lose it. And so it is something that we want those muscles to stay nice and there and firm and able to allow them to get up and move. And two, we want to make sure that they're not becoming a little bit too chunky. If they start becoming a little more obese, that arthritis is just going to get worse. And so having them up and active keeps those joints moving and keeps them from having some issues as far as being overweight.
So what are some fun activities to keep my senior dog happy?
So really, it's having them interact with you. A lot of times it's getting them up and moving and going on a walk. And that's something that it's nice and slow paced, but they can get up and be moving with that and enjoy that time. But if they love to play fetch, then absolutely do that. They may not be as much for going the longer distances anymore, but certainly having them up and active with you is a good way to have them continuing to do well in their later years.
Are there any activities that I should avoid?
So it is something that you may want to avoid, having those longer strenuous walks, especially if your dog isn't really used to that. If they've been conditioned for it their entire life, then absolutely stick with it. But I wouldn't be going on any major hikes or walks that could overall cause them to have some pretty bad joint problems after the fact. Same thing with jumping after a frisbee, things like that they may be a little bit more prone to getting injured with, I would try to avoid.
So are there any activities I can do in my home with my senior dog?
So you can necessarily work on their obedience. That is something that a lot of them will have a mind stimulation with just that alone. And even being able to, toss the ball in the house, play tug of war, give them their favorite toy or treat to chew on.
Should I take my dog to the vet if they become less active?
So it's definitely something to have checked out, especially if your dog is normally a fairly active being and they just kind of all of a sudden start to decline in how active that they are willing to be around the house. Then it definitely may be worth having checked out. There are certain diseases, certain types of pain that can cause them to really slow down.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.